Seems like he's a man of few words, but if you had to like describe his personality to people, how would you describe it?
He was definitely an introvert,
Yes.
but at the same time, he had an effort, okay, to reach out to people and never deny a smile, a caress, a shake, all right? And you saw that it was coming kind of naturally, but he had to put an effort into it.
Oh, I
You
see.
know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, never forget that growing up, he was an actor. He did a lot of theater.
I forgot about that.
Yes. So he also knew where the camera was.
I
But
love this.
if I can describe it, I will say that. So, somebody that, an intellectual all the way through, always you will see, as we will alone inside the apostolic palace, always immersed in thoughts, right? And
He he basically did the luminous mysteries.
yes, and all of the encyclicals that he wrote and things like that, right? He was always immersed in thoughts, but at the same time, he will walk by, not all the time, but I would say at least two-thirds. He will notice us, and he will take 10 seconds just to come and say, "How are you?"
That's so
That's
sweet.
so sweet.
That's
That's
so very
that's
sweet.
so very sweet. How many times we, as business owners or business executives, we walk by in our buildings, in our offices, and we don't even say hello to a cleaning lady or to a security person. He knew that we were there. He knew that we are made in the image of God. And so he always made sure, most of the time, but the effort was clear, to maybe just say hi. And that gives you so much joy because you've been maybe in the Apostolic Palace for 9 hours. You're exhausted, you're on your feet, right? And then all of a sudden he comes and your feet don't ache anymore. The exhaustion goes away because you talked for 10 seconds.
Mario, I have to ask you, I can't stand to be in Rome in July. How were you ever in those uniforms in the sweltering heat?
So John Paul II told one time that suffering is redemptive. And to answer your question, I'm going to tell you this anecdote. When John Paul II went to the hospital in 1991 because he had a benign cancer, okay? So he went to the hospital, they removed the benign cancer, and then he came back, okay? He stayed in the hospital 6 days, okay? When he came
You mean a
back,
benign tumor?
a benign tumor.
Yeah, because I benign and cancer don't.
Sorry, benign tumor.
Yes, 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 yes.
Which was like an apricot size.
Yeah, yeah,
okay?
sure.
So benign tumor.
Yes.
Correct. And so when they took him out of his intestine, then when he came back, that day in my service, I was in the courtyard called San Damaso waiting for him to arrive. When he arrives, I go in my attention, the butler gets out, opens the door of the car, and His Holiness, look pale, like everybody after surgery, after a week in the hospital, you look pale, you lose weight. So he put his foot out, put his second foot out, he grabs the chassis of the Mercedes, he pulls himself out, but he lost the balance. And rather than falling back into the car, he took a step toward the back, the rear, and so he leaned, against the side of the car.
Sure.
But his left hand remained in the opening of the door, right? And the butler didn't see that.
Oh,
And so the butler
gosh.
closed the door of the Mercedes, and finger 5, 4, and 3 got closed into the
Oh, I can't imagine the pain.
exactly. In front of me, His Holiness made a little, the butler reopened immediately the door. He took it out, okay? And he didn't yell or scream or swear or punch the butler. He said that suffering is redemptive. And we all have to understand that there is a higher gospel, which is the gospel of suffering, through which we can redeem the church. So my answer to you is, every time in July and in August, where in Rome it's humid,
I mean,
like
it's
Florida, right?
oh,
I would stand Sant'Uffizio de Gate or l'Arco delle Campane in St. Peter, feeling the sweat going down, on my back, and I will offer it up, right? I will be hydrated, drink a lot, but sometimes was very uncomfortable, right? But I offer it up, and you're engaging with people and so on and so forth, and you move, and all of a sudden you feel that you are wet, and it's painful, right? But for us, it was a way to sacrifice and to offer up something, like an alms giving, so to speak. So that what I did, and that what still today the guards do, because the uniform is the same since 520 years. The uniform has been the same, and the humidity is brutal, and there are no alternatives. Right? That's how it is. So you offer it up.
Did Pope John Paul II have any favorites, like restaurants, food, people, music, other than his Pumas?
Well, John Paul II, obviously, he never left. He left in incognitus several times to go ski, but not to go to food, right? So he was very tight with Polish traditions, okay? So kielbasa, so Polish food was always present, okay? Um, Many times pilgrims will come and bring desserts, which, please forgive me for any Polish people, but I didn't really like it. They have a lot of ricotta inside, very rich. You take a bite, takes you 10 minutes to swallow them, right? A lot of alcohol, śliwowica, all of these drinks, right? But, I've witnessed him. He was a simple man, right? So my answer to you will be, he never asked us, can you go and get me a burger or a pizza, right?
Yeah.
He had, every pope did, not Francis, but Benedict did, and Pope Leo have. He has, John Paul II had nuns. He had 5 nuns that lived with him, and one of them was the chef, and so she was the one cooking.
There was not like a favorite meal he asked for?
No, not that
Just Polish food.
Yeah, most of the time was Polish food, yes.
That's interesting. Living in Italy, still asking for Polish food.
But
you like what you like. You could take the boy out of Poland, but you can't take the Poland out of the boy.
I would say maybe the quality of the food, because of Italian, I'm not an expert, but for sure the sisters, they shopped inside the Vatican, so they were maybe forced to create Polish food with Italian ingredients. So I don't know.
That's interesting.